Here hex 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 hex. Here hex 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 hex. Here hex 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 hex. Here hex 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 hex.
Namaste Hexicans, welcome back to a new Hex Guild live stream with me Dheeraj. I hope the audio is doing okay. This is going to be a short live stream just because I wanted to start off the new year's live streaming. I would have done it yesterday, but technical difficulties, I would say. Um, yeah, so like it's been just four uh, for me 5 days into 2025, and we have already seen so many things happen, not just in the hex community but worldwide. And I guess it has painted a picture of what we can expect throughout the year, maybe. uh, yes, thank you for confirming, mixed Jasod. And X Futures was here earlier saying China farted and now it's foggy. I don't know where you are, man. Like I'm closer to China, but uh, it's not foggy here. On the contrary, it was raining like crazy for the past week. Even New Year's uh, Eve, like kind of rained on, but luckily, right around the time of the midnight firecrackers, the rain had stopped, so it was enjoyable. Yes, I had prepared something, but I'm just going to go ad lib, I would say. Now, the word Zeitgeist. Uh, I like this word very much. It kind of rules of the tongue. It comes as a conjunction and from German word Zeiten, and the Geist means ghost, and Zeiten is time. So it is the ghost of time. But unlike what you call what were shown in the, what was the name of the movie? The Christmas, like the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. This time ghost is more of a time spirit, and it is more uh, akin to like a team spirit, which means like, or rather, a mood of the time. And we can look at what is cooking so far, and make judgments about it. But every time period has its spirit. You can call it the, the hippies, 70s, uh, the rebellious 90s. I don't know what the 2020s should be called. Because, yeah, we started like we are already in the mid 20s. The decade started off with global crisis, and ever since we have been facing some atrocities one after the other. Uh, After the pandemic, there was the Russo-Ukrainian war, which is still going on. Then there is the Israeli war that is going on. So many crazy things. Now again with what's the US, there is the war, the trade war with China, which is bound to escalate further. At least that is what Trump is suggesting, with more tariffs on Chinese goods. And China has also kind of retaliated with tariffs on US goods. So overall, nothing has changed. But no, the beginning of the year, just what is it, 2 days ago, we had two separate so-called I would say accidents happening or events happening involving two trucks, one in New Orleans, one in LA at the Trump Tower. But have you noticed the headlines in itself? In in LA, it was the cyber truck that exploded, but you know, it wasn't a Ford F-150 that rammed into people uh, in New Orleans. Um, Plus, we are getting more and more news. Uh, how much should we trust what we see on social media is a different issue altogether. But for me, it's like some things just simply don't add up, or maybe like these, am I looking into things a bit too deep? Like both the uh, assailants who were part of the same military troop regiment in the US Army, both hired, sorry, I got distracted by some flickering lights on my screen. But yeah, so both of them from the same troop, hired the trucks from the same company. But what kind of doesn't really make sense to me? Like it would have made more sense if they had used the trucks, swapped trucks, the heavily armored cyber truck would have made a better choice to mow down people, which is it's uh, kind of one of its design flaws that people say is kind of maybe it's a feature, lack of safety. And yeah, using the Ford to blow up fireworks near the Trump Tower maybe would have been have caused more damage. But it's the Trump Tower situation really makes sense to me, because yeah, it would have, if you are going to blow the thing up, why not just ram the truck into the doors uh, like sane person should or would. Plus, if you are using like a truck with an autopilot feature, why would you be sitting in the truck while you are detonating the explosives? Plus, use the most heavily guarded truck. Those things doesn't really add up. But then, a few days ago, we had a video put out by 60 Minutes, which is again government sponsored media, where they had interviewed a guy from Mossad, and he was talking about, yeah, it is, they are the directors of the movie, we are all the audience, and everything that happens are just actors. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but this is what it seems like everything is mainly photo op or psyop. At least to me, it seems like, and I think most of the people around the world are catching up, and hopefully people will. I don't know whether people are getting smarter or the intelligence that is putting out this propaganda is getting dumber, uh, or making it too obvious. But hopefully people get disillusioned by this. Things uh, are looking, but one thing that it sparked, uh, or rather, it has reignited the flames of uh, what you call the safety theater, protection of Americans against terrorists. The black flags. Um, so yeah, but I think it is again going to only increase. And as a crypto enthusiast myself, I would like to know whether either of those truck drivers used a crypto for hiring those trucks or borrowing or paying for the explosives. Uh, that is something to think about. Like, yeah, that's what the US government or the SEC talks about, right? The use of crypto for illegal purposes. Uh, like, if you're using the most open and transparent ledger to do your transactions, or rather to do your illegal transactions, you need you are not smart. But what was I was saying, like, yeah, these are going to be pretexts for more security theater, just like we had after the 9/11 attacks, the TSA. You will get a special cavity check every time you post on multimedia. Social media is what would be the extreme of it. But that's, I hope we, we never get there. Other than that, we have seen like AI agents. Like, agents is the new buzzword, but it already existed. Like, every instance of AI is kind of an agent, and yeah, slowly you can delegate your routine tasks to AI agents, which we already did have. And in terms of like Siri as well as the other AI agents, like they needed a bit of human intervention, but still it wasn't like too much of a hassle. But yeah, slowly AI is going to be integrated, and for AI to thrive, it needs energy. Uh, well, they were talking about starting the Three Mile Island nuclear reactor, which again the proposal was shut down, but they are going to start a few more uh, nuclear stations. Uh, is what is expected, because yeah, AI, even the latest and greatest NPUs or neural processing units, they charge require a lot of energy, almost like the Bitcoin miners. Mm, so all the that is another debate. Is Are we wasting energy on AI? Nobody talks about that. But yeah, things are getting better. exponentially. And I just read a news in on Google regarding uh, uh, from a Philippines what research agency, or but it's a general old school media that around 14% of the jobs in the Philippines are at threat of being replaced by AI. I don't know how true it is, but yeah, there is going to be job displacement for call center workers, not because we'll be speaking to call center agents in general, but a lot of administrative and paperwork has been simplified and automated by AI. So it's not a big deal. It mostly, hopefully, and mostly, that these displaced workers will find other avenues of revenue. Um, is what I expect, and move on to more human-oriented creative tasks. Is what I'm thinking about. That was the thing. The other thing in 2025, what we are seeing is, as an Indian, I have been more observant regarding it. Yeah, Indian hate is everywhere. Like the especially after the talks about H-1B visa, which I kind of did cover on the Hex Asians channel, but still, like I think like now there is like a hierarchy, or what do you call, a web of fa- rock paper scissors, like uh, rock beats scissor, scissor beats paper, paper beats rock, rock. It's like white people hate black people, black people hate Indians, Indians hate other Asians, other Asians hate white people. Eh, circle of life. But with the new hex policies, not hex, X, or formerly Twitter policies regarding hate speech, it's becoming more uh, prevalent on social media. Just that. But yeah, before people start saying, yeah, Elon, regard free speech, absolutist, we just came to know a large number of blue ticks were taken off because of criticizing community. So that's free speech absolutist for you. Uh, and mind you, in these influencers like do make money out of by getting clicks on social media. So I really don't have any sympathy for them. But yeah, like taking taking away people's means of what earning is not good in any way. Speaking of which, in speaking of influencers and other things, Eco Builder, who is the owner of this channel, and I was hoping he would join in the live stream, but he isn't. Hopefully, he's listening or would listen to this later. He had shared a chart with me about uh, business models. Uh, let me. share this. I hope you guys can see it. Yeah, you can step away to make me even smaller. Wait a minute. This is weird. So yeah, I so this is what he wanted to talk about. Uh, like how now this is from Harvard Business School, business model generation. Uh, like these are the key activities of a business which involve key partners or stakeholders who do two things like they have key activities or labor and resources, and what these to take is the cost of the business, or these form the cost of the business, uh, and looking into this we can find out whether it is feasible, and whether the good or services can be delivered, and at the customer end we have to look at the desirability, which is uh, do customers want that product or service, and for that you have to give value propositions. Again, the price is what the customers pay for the product or service, and the value is the utility that they receive from the service. And to show those value propositions we need customer relations and channels, and from the that we from customers paying we generate revenues. But now, and when we make a balance of the cost versus the revenue, we get whether the business is worth it. Mm, Now, this is me just cold reading all this stuff. Uh, oh, uh,
You know that
I
I came
didn't
up.
look. I was looking at the other screen, so I didn't see
I,
you creeping up. Like,
I think you did a
yeah.
good job explaining this. So I came across this whenever I was in a heavy attempting to become entrepreneurial time period of my life, and so I was communicating with somebody locally here, and this older female, um, she had a lot of male mentors her same age, and one of them passed her this illustrated book of like business model generation, I think was the book title. So I really attached myself to this diagram, this visual model, in order to like make sure that I had all my ducks in a row with all my ideas. A lot of things I didn't launch, of course, because I didn't have the funds to. But now circling back, whenever it is that we have issues inside of our community, and like, okay, let's think about how, yeah, we're not technically a business. However, this is a way an organization can survive and be sustainable. So, what areas do you see yourself being if it is that the value proposition right in the middle is the hex contract, the hex token? So that is the product. So fill in the left and right side and bottom side of all this. So the far left side would be Richard creating this thing and using his personal funds to have it to where developers are underneath him creating this thing. And then if we continue it on in time, then there's going to be other people who are volunteers who are going to help Richard fill in these channels to deliver the product and interact with the product and the customer. And then also the customer relations, the smiling faces and what it is that the not just the product, but the environment that you witness because you're participating with the product. So what I'm thinking, do you have that other do you have it turned to black and all the logos on top of it to where I can show like, okay, these are the players in the field. I think you're muted.
Uh, yeah, I was trying to bring that up. Actually,
Okay.
I didn't want to bring that up because it has some faces which I really don't condone being in the X community, but
All right.
because
Well,
wait, I will bring it up because it's you're the boss. So this one, right?
yeah. Let me.
But let me see if I can. Does this look better? I can't zoom in further,
Looks pretty good.
but
I think it looks the same as it did initially. Okay. So on the far right side, there are the people that we're trying to reach in the world, and then existing hexagons as well, because we want in this 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 model, it pertains to existing circumstances and into the future. So there's going to be different people over there on the far left that are the volunteers, the key partners that are doing this thing together. And it's, keep in mind, the subject matter is the hex token and hex contract, which is the product over there in the middle of it. And then on the far right side, there are existing hexagons that are continuing to interact, but there are also going to be like new hexagons, new onboarding people. So I just put like representation of folks over there, but I also put the Celsius and Ledger leaks. And then, so on the far left, I put hex postcards and the hex militia with identity block, helping out Richard. And so those, I mean, I should put the hex guild logo over there as well. So the idea is that these people are of like mind, and they're participating in getting that product out there. What are they participating in? They're utilizing key resources, which is on the map a little bit further to the right of the key partners. And then also above that, the key activities. So the key resources and the key activities are going on in order to present the product. And then the product branches out to the customer, the clientele, whether they already interact with it or don't, through the channels and then the customer relations. Well, customer relations, those folks are like a website that you interact with. I've got Hex Daily Stats over there because that's something that you interact with daily that gives you the Hex updates. It's not trying to take you off of the Hex token. Instead, Hex token is still number one in the product line, or number one and only thing. Same thing with Hexologist, who's sitting there front and center. He has only ever talked about Hex, making it Hex is the product. I'm the interface for you to get your Hex information. I don't steer away from that. So there are other things like Dextop there and Go Pulse over there and Rabby Wallet who do offer other things, but they are still an interface in order for you to get that one single product. That's why they fit in that little portion over there. Then down below, they're the channels. Channels are like how you actually get, that's the piping, the delivery system, the UPS man, how you actually get your hands on the stuff. So whenever it is that a key partner we're talking about is a hex postcards, then a key channel would be the USPS, the United States Postal Service, that delivers it straight to the door. As opposed to maybe whenever we're talking about hex token, and you're on Pulse chain and you're utilizing Pulse X, which is one of the channel situations, examples. So Pulse X is the way that you get key partner Richard Hart's token, his creation. So he set that up as the channel. So that's the way for you to look at this. And then down at the bottom is you've got your left side is your costs, and then your right side is your gross income. So the right side, what I was thinking was just market cap go up, and so plenty of green candles on the way. And then over there on the left with the cost structure, I was thinking that it'll take a little bit of donations of crypto. It'll take a little bit of time, or a lot of bit of both. Donations, but sacrifices. I've got the things listed there. So key partners, that's volunteers. Key activities. What did I say that was? Those are actions. And then key resources, those are tools. Then the hex, the value proposition, it's hex staking, of course. So I've got these little descriptive words roaming around each of those things that I'm calling out, each of the portions of the board, pieces of the puzzle of the organization. But the important thing is to understand, sorry to long thing long. The important thing to understand is, where is it that you sit in this? Are you a part of the partners on the far left, to where you don't have any biasness to the hex token, which stands in the middle of this thing? Instead, all you're doing is helping out the situation. Are you over there on the left? Or are you at the customer relationships area, having to walk a fine line of only talking about hex token, only offering that because hex token is the product? So if it is that we're claiming what we're doing here is being a part of a community and limiting our speech to talking positive about hex token, if we're talking that we're fucking hexicans, right, then let's narrow down what we're talking about and the structure at which we see this stuff. Because I'm seeing it's where there's just, I guess it's called omnibus blob, just everywhere. And it's like there's plenty of people that are live right now talking about, like, especially in Twitter Spaces, that are talking about all of these pointed arguments happening right now in our community. There's probably like 5 different types of arguments that people are making a stance on. So lots is changing. Thanks for bringing this up. I heard my name and then I was just like, yeah, I can join. Oh, he's going to pull up the map. Okay, that's interesting. So I'd love to hear like what other people have in mind whenever I presented this map, because I just had to get it out there. Like, I remembered seeing this and then I was kind of like, maybe I need to revisit that and try to figure out if let's see, try to figure out where it is that everybody stands in my mind whenever we're talking about only the hex token as the product. And then maybe it could help some other people out. Like maybe some random people within our community on Twitter will be able to decipher, uh, you know, what this statement is. I figure it goes over a lot of people's heads because typically people don't spend more than like 2 seconds looking at something. Save me from myself, Jarash.
Yeah, so see, there was, you know, I brought it up because you tweeted, critique me. Yeah, that's something I am very good at. Uh,
That's what I did.
but
Okay.
no. People call me cynical, negative Nelly, whatever. But see, this is a very old model. I like now things are a bit like rather it is a more simplistic model, but of regular businesses. These things, when it comes to internet businesses, like things change a lot. Look at the customer service for your social media. Try getting your old YouTube channel unbanned if you were banned during the 2000 the Great Purge of 2020. Uh, uh, what does YouTube do? Ignored. You don't even exist. So customer service, public relations, like eh, it's almost like Google takes in information of what things people like and then kills it off, just like they killed the unlike button. So yeah, I your normal YouTube had a loop function. I think I don't see it now on YouTube app either. But see, crazy stuff. Then they charge premium for not watching ads. So that was an tangent and an example, just to show that yeah, that these models kind of break when technologies come into existence. And for crypto in general, the product uh, is kind of weird. Like it has strange properties. It sometimes acts like a commodity. Sometimes it's just what you call it. I I don't want to use the term security, but uh, it's a uh, uh, token of ownership, right? Like a receipt of sorts that you own something. Right? So these things, uh, plus this thing of a rigid categorization of people into key stakeholders, customers, like there is kind of what do you call a revolving door. No, not a revolving door, but there is dynamic uh, stuff happening. Like yeah, key stakeholders. Yeah, Richard Hart did it, invent the coin, or paid for its audit and development. But now his work is theoretically done. Like Hex is a complete product. We don't have to develop on Hex itself. Yes, we do need mechanism. Rather, here the channels need to be what you call straightened out a bit more. We need a better wallet. We need a like better website. Right now what we have is good enough, but still there is so much more scope for improvement. And regarding the cost of cost structure wise, yeah, most of the cost has already incurred, And if you like now, the main cost goes into what customer relations, that is outreach or marketing, uh, is the only thing left. Yeah, development wise, yeah, for hex there doesn't need to be, but for pulse chain and pulse hex, yeah, there is always development going on. Of course, we have to excuse the builders building on top of hex. That is their separate projects, or trying to copy hex and failing miserably. So that is also needed to be a part of marketing.
But
It's
those
it's
people
kind of
shouldn't be confused into the customer relationships.
but but here's the thing, like if you are a hex staker, like everyone is a part of, everyone becomes an ambassador, or rather should be an ambassador for a hex. And you should be, you, if you want to openly admit that you are a hex taker, then you are kind of uh, public facing entity, which means you have certain standards to meet, I would say. Like, yeah, if you, it's not that you should be just talking about X, but at least try not to rug people is like a minimum requirement, I would say. So, yeah. Uh, yeah, these are the things I wanted to like talk about. Plus, yeah, if you are interested in building business models, there is a software for that, like for writing business plans. Um, I had a pirated version of it a long time ago. Now it doesn't work. I had it in the days of Windows. Uh, what was that? Windows XP. Now it doesn't work. There might be an updated version, but there are many. Like you put in your business ideas, and it creates a presentation to be that you can put forth for VCs. And this was possible like tw- uh, 10, 12 years ago. So imagine with AI now what things are possible. Mm. Yeah, those were my two cents. I i guess I will said. So yeah, the topic for the day was the Zeitgeist of 2025. But the thing is, like what I see right now, or what is happening, yeah, there is a lot of rage in people, and it's coming out against everyone. And whenever such things happen, the establishment, the matrix, the swarm, whatever you want to call it, uh, enacts something that will change the mood of the environment. So let's see what happens. Uh, yeah, these are. What do you think? What like like I said, I think in the beginning of the stream I was talking about how the 60s and 70s were the hippie movement, and 90s were like the punk and rebellious 90s. What do you think will the 2020s be known for? Uh,
I don't know, but are you begging to see like the Mad Max revolutionist or something?
I have no expectations, but there is this George Carlin joke, like I'm the one rooting for the asteroid. Uh, uh, yeah, I have given up. Like I haven't given up completely. I would say 99.9% I've given up hope for humanity in general. Maybe some we will be soon overtaken by mm, what you call transhuman overlords. But it's all look. I kid. I don't really believe all these things. I am a doctor by profession. I do. I even though I have stopped practicing for a long, I would say for 4 4 years. I still do hold the principles of, yeah, first do no harm and service to humanity. But man, it's getting difficult to justify those things. Mm, for me, at least some people are. I hear are saying like this is kind of a replay of the Roaring Twenties of uh, 1920s. With the rise of
Very interesting.
fascism.
Interesting.
Uh, because yeah, we are seeing uh, fascism under the guise of capitalism, or to be what's the term that there is this economist known Yanis Varoufakis. I may have mentioned him earlier. Like he has come up with the term techno feudalism, uh, that is rising up with this global tech giants consolidating power. Not only we might see a gilded age again, is what it seems like. But when you only know how strong you are when being strong is the only option left. So we never know what will happen when push comes to shove. I am really hoping that the guillotines come back into fashion. We
Woohoo!
already see a glimpse of what happened with Mario Brothers, but that is a meme in different. Yeah, but yeah, let's see. But we can only label this era after it has gone by. Nobody in the 70s were calling it the hippie 70s. Yeah, so we'll see. I
Isn't isn't there a statistic of history repeating itself, world global history repeating itself every 80 years? So whenever you say 100 years back reminds you of the 20s, or some people are talking about that, maybe we're about to experience the 40s,
maybe like, but
tightening up of government, and then World War.
yeah, yeah, maybe we never know. We will see. We will get a better glimpse after 20th January. Isn't that the day uh, Trump comes into office? I would say so. Once he's actually in office, we will see what his real policies are. He has a plan. He can't tell you exactly right now what the plan is, but yeah, there is a plan.
In the
Other
last two
than that,
days, a lot of people have been talking about the silencing on Twitter. So be aware that that stuff's going on now.
maybe, yeah, but I don't get it. If you are a true Trump supporter, you should be using Truth social media. It wasn't available for in this region for a long time. now it is, but it requires like you to register with your phone number. I don't do that, so
I'm not talking
I am
about
not
just
using.
Trump. I'm not talking
But
about just Trump supporters.
yeah, but like you see, there was a lot of other things on Twitter or X, but let me remind everyone that a major stakeholder in X is the Saudi Emirate Fund, and yeah, they are known to be the most free speech absolutists. If you remember Khashoggi case, that is a different thing, bro. Like, yeah, he was a journalist who wrote about uh, the Saudi prince bin Sal Abu bin. Forgot his name even, because you shouldn't I, rather I shouldn't mention his name. But yeah, he was uh, disposed of by the prince, and the prince openly stated it that yes, they did it on, on news channels. So yeah, what we are seeing is all mm, in India. I think the word Maya has become a bit more popular in the Western world as well, right? Uh, if you are Buddhism, or if you go to some yoga expert, they will at some point of time talk about it. Maya, everything is an illusion, especially on social media. So don't take everything at face value. And oh, I see DJ Cryptomatic. Shout off him as well. Thank you.
Let's go.
Let's go. I think he will be, you know, the real reason I started this live stream was because it's nice. It's fun to talk down and I stop sharing, like punch down or kick down people when they are down, and talk about drug pulls when they have already occurred. But at some point it becomes too much negativity. I was trying to bring some positive vibes to this stream, but like I said, the spirit of 2025 doesn't seem to be that way.
All right, so I'm making a reality TV show.
So,
What should the
yes,
name be, Duraj? What do you think the name should be?
I I haven't really. I thought you had a name already. I didn't kind of.
I'm floating some names. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still. uh, That that is something I did want to talk about with you, but off screen, maybe just 5 minutes. But yeah, something like crypto games or something would be too obvious because Squid Games is in, and Beast games were kind of in. It's something like that too, right? So yeah, I'm not really good at uh, with these kind of things, but
Fair. Can you hear that
but
siren?
just one thing, like, look, the thing is, there is so not only just social media bias, but in general bias amongst people regarding crypto bros. And there is a particular image of, like, crypto bros are like nerds who only thing they know to do is trade 24/7. So maybe, like, when you are doing the show, like, try and break that stereotype, and please. include some eye candy in the show. Otherwise, yeah, yeah. If it's a sausage fest in the house, I'm not going to be watching. And no one in particular, but I did see a couple of audition videos which cringe. Like, uh, so that's something to talk, like, keep in mind. But they, like, it sounds interesting. And yeah, if I have, if some epiphany moment, and I think like you guys should, yes, I like, the idea is open, or the brainstorming space is open to all. The link is in the description. Our VIP group, which we give away for free, the Hex Foodies, or the Hex Guild. Uh, Please join us on Telegram, because uh, YouTube outreach for regular channels coming from bottom up is, or starting new without advertisement, is almost impossible. Plus, yeah, that's all had to ramble about. Oh, yes, I hand over the mic to you. I will be in mute.
Let's see. The reality TV show, I've been floating some ideas of what good names would be. So I'm kind of stuck there. I'm communicating with the producer. Things are looking really good. This will be this first run will just be kind of a feel how this whole thing goes, create a product in the end. I'm told that you got a product, and then after that we know how easy or hard the whole thing was, and where to go from there. Maybe reproduce it, chop it up, create some teasers, do do some teasers towards the future of changing it up. But I'm told by people in the industry that reality TV show stuff, like maybe 90% of it is um, not shown and not interesting, but 10% is scripted and interesting, So I think what's going to happen is people are going to be in the field, in the moment, and the producer and the directors are going to feel something out and say, wait a minute, can you do this certain thing? And then they'll act it out, and that'll be their, a portion of their contribution that makes it so interesting of a show. But it'll be 10 episodes or 8 episodes that will be taken from the 14 days worth of footage. So right now the plan is to start February 22nd. So like whenever it is that anybody could be cringe, or their initial videos could be unsatisfactory or something, let's look at that personality and say, okay, how would that personality fit into this scenario where, like, it's like a vacation to these guys. These guys have 2 weeks of vacation to see if they can win $10,000. Okay.
Like, yeah, like, yeah, like, let's take one of my favorite TV shows I used to watch when I was younger. Still like 18. So, like, Big Boss, or Big Brother was the US version, right? Like, or UK version. In India, it was Big Boss. Uh, who 10, 12 people in a single house, locked up.
I was told to go and
Yes,
look at that and to evaluate it, just use it as a case study. My gosh, that thing was annoying.
yeah,
Those people
and
just start the whole the entire point of it or at least what I saw in the episodes that I watched, was the entire point was for you to decide who gets to leave next. You don't have any activities. You're just stuck in a house where you all jointly or not
Yes.
democratically decide who leaves next. It's so stupid. There's no fucking point.
Yeah, that's why it was so fun to watch everybody. So much drama and rage bait. What and it sells on uh, in media. But my
Well,
point
what I
was like,
didn't like was it was all based on people's personalities instead of like anything outside
uh,
of that.
it, it, it,
There's
it
no
it was,
outside factors.
yeah, it's partly or mostly scripted, but it's still fun, like WWE wrestling. But yeah, so from like they are supposed to be in the house 24/7, and out of 24 hours we got a 1 hour episode, which is, of course, if you cut down the ads, it's like 40 minutes. So 40 minutes out of 24 hours, that's how much good footage you will likely get. And even that was not really, like, all of it is not noteworthy, I would say. So yeah, those things happen, but uh, what I say?
Was
Like, let the professionals do the work. Like, if you have a producer and a director, they will to do things out. But I hope, uh, like, do some. My suggestion was do some kind of communal activity, which, like, yeah, we are not here like trying to make the world a better place, not just in it for the money kind of thing. Do some community service to earn crypto would be. I think there
That's a
was
good
already a
idea.
that is. I think there was a token regarding it where you could.
Okay.
I think like post a photo of you cleaning up a place and you could earn tokens. Of course, people started gaming it by first throwing the trash themselves and then cleaning it up.
Making the mess.
Yeah,
First,
so
throw a party so that other people help you make the mess. So
yeah,
there's opportunities in the gameplay right now. There's opportunities where you can talk to somebody out on the street and get them to come back to the tent with you. That kind of sounds bad, but there's a faucet, a crypto faucet in the format of a tent out in the field that if they find it, it changes daily on its location. But if they find it, then they could invite somebody locally to, of course, their face to face conversations that they're having out in the field with people. They can invite people back to that tent, and those people would earn the same amount of faucet rewards that they're earning. And then, in order to make it scarce, then another part of the gameplay is that if another player shows up at the tent at the same time that you're there, you have to split the rewards with them. So if enough people find the faucet tent, it may not be opportunistic to stay there any longer because you're having to split the rewards with everybody who's there. But yeah, I like the
interesting game
idea.
mechanism.
I really like the idea of the community service thing. I'm going to make sure I'm going to tag that on to the bottom side of the notes right now, just in case it wasn't already mentioned earlier.
Yeah, we have reached the 1 hour mark. We like to keep. I was expecting this to be like a 20-minute live stream, just me testing out. We have, I really wanted to test out this permanent studio thing. I still don't know how to start a new live stream, second live stream with it. But yeah, so we don't have to use a new invite link for the guild videos.
That's
So
interesting. Did you
yeah,
see that there's a new feature where you can set a introductory video and a exit
yeah,
video? Okay, cool. So
yeah.
folks
So
in the background, we now have one button that you press that button, it'll start the intro video, and then you click in stream, and then it'll start the exit video. It used to be that we had to manually do that and time it. So, like, if I'm running an exit video, I need to stick around and click the end button exactly when it ends.
so yeah,
Cool. I'm going to disappear.
and because you were talking about the outro video, let let me do a demo of that, and we will see you guys whenever I feel I want to stream on this channel. Bye bye.